What you really need to know before moving to Italy. Are you being deceived? Hello and welcome to our Retire Early lifestyle. Why do we think you are being deceived about Italy? Well, because you're watching YouTube videos, aren't you? People tend to run to the same sources when it comes to getting information. A lot of folks, probably not you though, rely so much on third-party information that they don't stop to think about what they are getting themselves into. I recently said in another video, when you go abroad, you will get culture shock because you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. In other words, what you see and get in videos is not everything you will encounter. This time we're talking about Italy. The patterns stick out like a sore thumb. We're good at looking at historical patterns, and patterns are actually proof that something is or is not happening. Firstly is the pattern of the same narrative about the healthcare system in Italy. And secondly, it's about the pattern of what people are saying in the comment section of the videos. What we're seeing in the comments of our videos is the same narrative over and over again. Most Americans complain about the healthcare system in the USA, and for good reason. The costs and now the care that is provided has changed. But we won't go into that change in this video. If you know, you know. We can't say we told you so, but we actually felt that something was not right with the healthcare system many decades ago. That's why we took the bull by the horns and learned everything we could about our natural health and began taking care of our own health care the way God intended for us in the beginning. And when we talk about health, we don't mean just physical health, but our mental, emotional, and spiritual health and well-being as well. Each area of our health aids in the performance of the other. And we knew early on that institutions are not meant to be relied upon in the way that we have been taught to rely on them. We rely on the education system to make sure our children get a good education. We rely on the financial institutions to protect our money and buy our way into a standard of living which keeps us in debt. We rely on religion and religious people to show us how to live and provide us with eternal life. And we rely on the pharmaceutical medical system to make us healthy and to maintain our health. Which one has worked out for you so far? Can you say that you are happy with the results? Now we need doctors. Let's just get that out of the way. We need surgeons and EMTs, emergency medical technicians. No one on this channel is saying anything otherwise. For physical emergencies, we absolutely need doctors. But as you know, health is an ongoing aspect of our life that we can and should have full control over. We can choose what we ingest and what we do, choices we make and how we live, because we should be responsible for our own body and mind. Those aspects of our lives do not belong to another person, and I wouldn't want to give them that power and control over my body, mind, or soul. A lot of people believe that the medical system should be in charge of their bodily health. It's not their fault. They've been conditioned into believing this way. But because of this view, many of them seek out other countries where they can live just so they can feel like they are getting the medical care and attention they need and at the cost they can afford. It's not just Italy. They run to Ecuador, Portugal, Costa Rica, Spain, Southeast Asia for cheaper health care. But have people forgotten that this thing lingering in the air is global? Have people forgotten they are trying to replay 2020 all over again? Apparently Americans have forgotten because they are running to Italy for supposed better health care. And so what are people saying about the healthcare system in Italy? People are saying a myriad of things, but here are the pattern narratives. The healthcare in Italy is mostly free or costs very little. Well, that's true. The universal health care in Italy is the reason why many expats move to Italy or are moving to Italy. That's true too. Many expats boast about the health care in Italy. That's also true. Most Americans say they can't make it in America because of the high cost of health care. Well, everybody knows that one's true too. Well, have you considered any of these things? Did you know that in northern Italy, people were unfortunately dropping like flies in the hospitals from the flu virus that was going around with a 98.6% survival rate? If the hospital system is so great, why did so many people die from a flu virus in the Italian hospitals? What do you think happened? Concerned Italian citizens have been and are suing the Italian governments, hospitals, and medical doctors for years now because they lost a loved one while they were in the hospital during the flu virus that was going around. Most of the ones who died were put on ventilators. Wait a minute. Wait. Aren't those things supposed to assist in breathing? Remember, this thing is global. There are many more reports just like these that you're seeing in this video. To top it off, expats, mostly Americans and some Brits, are gloating online in videos on YouTube about how good the healthcare system is in Italy. And they want you to know that the World You Know What organization has named Italy as having the second best healthcare system in the world. In the world. Let that sink in. It needs to sink in for you to be able to put two and two together. Did people not learn the first time around? Why do we forget that this thing is globally run and managed? Let us help you out. If there is another pandemic, and they say there will be another one, they're trying really hard to bring about another one. But if there is another pandemic, when expats living in Italy start getting a little sniffle and they run to the doctor like they do, what in the world is going to happen this time around? If we still aren't seeing the pieces of the puzzle coming together, we don't know what to tell you. By the way, Italy's healthcare system is not really free. Italy's income taxes are some of the highest in the world. Yes, even higher than the USA. Did you know that? Italians are constantly complaining about how high the tax rates are, and Italy has some of the highest in Europe. Where do you think those tax dollars go? The medical staff that's giving you cheap or free medical care are terribly overworked and underpaid in Italy. The Italians, the ones that don't have vested interests, will tell you the healthcare system in Italy is so understaffed they're bringing in doctors from Cuba and other foreign countries to pick up the slack. The bottom line is, the healthcare system in Italy is not what you've been told. The vested interests, along with the influencers and vloggers, tend to take over the internet and bring on a narrative that is not how it really is. Don't misunderstand. We're not saying there are not good doctors and medical staff in Italy. Of course there are talented and compassionate doctors and nurses and caregivers in Italy, just like there are in America. America is expensive and Italy is low cost or free healthcare, okay? I wouldn't bet my whole life on it and move myself lock, stock, and barrel to Italy because of free institutionally run healthcare. By the way, In southern Italy, the healthcare system is heavily strained. The Italians themselves will tell you the waiting time to see a doctor is horrendous in the south, and the conditions are not what you might expect in a first world country. The medical system is not funded adequately, considering they do provide free healthcare to its citizens. The Italians say the healthcare is much better in the north, but maybe you should talk to the thousands of people who had a family member die in the hospitals in the northern regions of Italy from the flu virus that is 98.6% survival rate. And if you want to say it's because Italy has a very high percentage of old people in the population, it's true. Italy does have a good percentage of older people. But I did the research, which we always do on this channel. And according to the stats, Japan's 65 and older people count for 30% of the population, while in Italy it's only 24%. And Japan had a quarter of the hospital deaths during the flu virus that Italy had. Also, Japan had more cases of COVID-19 than Italy did. As you can see by the facts presented to you, Japan had a very few deaths, even though they have a much larger percentage of people over the age of 65 years of age. So then we must pose the question again. Why did Italy have so many deaths from a virus that has a 98.6% survival rate? Remember, it is ranked second best in the world by you-know-who. In one breath, they report hundreds and thousands of Italians died from the virus. By the way, Italy is rated 21 out of 250 other countries for death rate. That's really high. And in another breath, they say that the healthcare system is rated second best in the world because of life expectancy, which is attributed to the Mediterranean diet. Now, if these two breaths aren't an oxymoron, tell me what is. If Italians are so healthy as reported, they most assuredly would have and should have survived a flu that has a 98.6% survival rate. It's sad that we feel the need to bounce around all over the world, leaving behind family, friends, our favorite foods, our favorite restaurants, our favorite places, everything that's familiar to us that we love, for cheap or free institutionally run healthcare. Now that is a sacrifice beyond measure. And what's the saddest part about it is people are being duped. Running to Italy for the healthcare is not the panacea you think it is. We do have alternatives. If you're young, you could consider to start taking responsibility for your health. Make the right choices, and by all means do not allow yourself to believe that someone else cares more than you about your body. No one cares more about your body than you, the owner. It's that simple.
There's a maintenance thing with our health and our bodies too. And so you don't necessarily have to wait. This is what people don't realize. There's a maintenance thing with your health that you do. And a lot of people don't do the maintenance, and then when they finally body starts breaking down, they rush to the doctor because now it's an emergency. Well, that's not like not maintaining your car, and then finally when it breaks down, same thing. Then you go to the mechanic. But you can a lot of times avoid mechanic, you just take care of the car. A lot of you guys know that. Check the wires, clean the cables, make sure that the liquids are topped off, and do all those things that you should be doing to double check the car and make sure that you're not allowing it to run down. So we've always been able to. So now we're both doing this without institutional health care. We will both survive this. I guarantee it.
It is our responsibility to inform our viewers when we know something that perhaps they aren't seeing. As messengers, all we can do is alert people to what's happening in the world today. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.